BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed ahoy hoy, welcome. Episode 467 of BRB UK is upon us, and to celebrate this mighty occasion, we're having episode 467 of BRB UK. Yes, we are. There's nothing you can do to stop us. Hi, I am Dan. I'm one of your hosts.
That's arguable.
I am one third of this podcast, but also one half of this podcast who hasn't really had much of a chance to play video games recently. The other half of the podcast who hasn't had much chance to play video games recently is a man who is caressing his newly robotic, touch-sensitive ears. It's Coleman.
Hi.
So you're saying you've got like touchpads installed in your ear?
I got some Bose 700s, and the volume is like a little touch sensitive thing on the side of.
Yeah, you say that, but there was definitely a little bit of a kind of a masturbatory flourish.
It
when
took
you were
me
doing
3
it.
days
There we go.
until I figured out how to do the volume.
There's the show title. Minute in. Show title done. Tick that off the list. Timothy, how are you?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're unusually quiet. Turns out you were drinking, and I nearly made you die.
Well, that's one thing. Yeah, it's been a hard week this week between staying up a bit too late to cram in a bit too much video games and just generally working hard. Yeah, end of.
I've heard you like staying up late to cram it in.
Really,
you're better than that, Coleman. Come on, you're
better
than that, mate.
I think
Who told
evidence
you this?
from last week.
I'm trying to set you some stretch goals for the coming year. Your development objectives, Coleman.
I heard you like to stay up late to stretch some goals. You
right
know
up
what
against
these
the
innuendos
coalface,
mean
mate.
anymore.
I think you've broken him, Dan. I think you've over innuendo influenced him.
Oh, there's no such thing as an over innuendo.
Innuendo.
There we go. See,
you're an over innuendo influencer.
You're overtly what in my endo?
See.
My endo does sound like some kind of disease.
It's true. Yes. Anyway, all
medically
of this
speaking,
all of this talk makes me realise that I really ought to do the good sensible reminder of wash your fucking hands, because Unicron is coming to destroy us all.
Oh no.
It's brilliant that the new version, well, it sucks as new version of COVID, but at least this letter of the Greek alphabet makes it sound like some kind of robotic overlord or an apprentice team that's a bit rubbish.
Can I just point out with the new variant of COVID that there has been a surge in sales of physical copies of Omicron: The No Man's Soul?
Really? Nice.
Yep.
That's
Quantic
not how
Dreams,
vaccines
David
work,
Bowie
idiots.
game.
It's not how vaccines work.
And also, GOG have put it on sale as well. So if you've ever wanted to play that game with David Bowie in it, £1.88, I think.
And also, at least they're better than they're better than like Xbox at naming things as well. So like they skipped New because they thought that would be confusing. They skipped G because Mew. I guess G.
No, Mew. They skipped Mew because it's a common Chinese surname.
Yeah.
COVID Series S.
Yes.
COVID Series X.
But unfortunately, it's not having a problem of being out of stock. That's the issue. Hey,
COVID
what are you going to do?
And you're like, this is the fifth one. Why are you calling it COVID 1?
Why has it got 2 HDMI ports? I don't want to watch my telly through COVID. What's going on?
It's a good thing we don't monetize these videos anymore, because we lose it every time you say COVID.
Do we?
Yeah. Can't talk about COVID, can't talk about vaccines.
Really?
Can't swear within the first 3 minutes. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Says who?
YouTube's very weird. YouTube.
So if we say go get your COVID vaccine
in the first 3 minutes,
that's no good.
No, you can't talk about vaccines or you get demonetized.
Really?
Yes, unless you're a news channel, an official news channel, not. Have you? Where
Jokes
have you been?
on you. We demonetized ourselves first.
I mean, frankly, if you're going to stop me evangelizing about how vaccines are a science-backed good idea, you can keep your chuffing money, YouTube.
No, I think what it is YouTube does this whole thing with their algorithm where they look out for words that are said that might cause problems, and then
Like
they
masturbatory
don't recommend
flourish,
them.
for example.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Well, no, for
Right,
instance,
okay.
So
So what you're
Algorithms
saying
haters.
is that mentioning vaccines is probably, that horse has bolted, pretty
well,
much.
no, but what they basically did is they get so many videos of people going, "Oh, these vaccines contain microchips, and they were made by Russia," and all this kind of like all the false news that get thrown in there. So they just went, "Well, okay, vaccine is a blanket term that you can't use if you want to get monetized."
What about the band, the vaccines?
Yeah, they can't make any money.
They're
on YouTube
screwed.
anymore.
No more. They're just out like.
Yeah, I think there's certain cases for things like BBC News or anyone that's like high enough to get your own kind of assistance with YouTube. But as a blanket, everyone on YouTube can't say certain things if they want to get monetized.
What other words can't we say?
Swear words.
Right.
Anything that any kind of violence or sexual violence words or sexy words.
Sexy words.
Sexy words.
Like foreskin. Is that considered a sexy word?
Yes, that is.
Do you think we get in trouble for Super Sexy Drive every week?
Super sexy drive.
Probably.
Is this why we
Lovely.
keep on not doing so well on YouTube, but do better on
Hey, chaps, we've got bad
audio
news about the
downloads?
BRB Christmas bonuses this year. We demonetised since 2012. There's no
Yeah,
money left.
We've been demonetized for a while because we didn't sort our AdSense account
well.
out for a while. So.
Oh, well, never mind.
Should we talk
Anyway,
about
on
actual
topic.
podcast things?
Yeah.
Yep. Probably an idea.
Timothy,
Yes.
you, unlike us, have played some games.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did really no
I played
good
a
for the
game.
podcast in just playing games that we have already played. Aside from the one thing I will mention before just mentioning the other things, because we have spoken about them before. The one new thing
Why have
I
you got to use the
did
word things
play-
so much?
Huh?
Because he likes going around. He likes the scenic route of the sentence.
You know. But yeah, the one thing I did get to play that I played, I think almost immediately after last week's show, I think on the Thursday, maybe the Friday. But yeah, anyway, I played a bit of the free event available in Halo, basically, in Halo Infinite. And yeah, it was
Halo
a
what?
limited time.
Infinite.
Infinite.
Oh,
It's a limited time
Infinite.
event where you could get like
Halo
armor
in it.
pieces and other stuff mainly related to a samurai-looking kind of armor.
Now, this is the event that a lot of players have been complaining about because the progression system's so balked.
Yes, and it is
Okay.
very slow, and some of the rewards that you unlock along the way are like, okay, good.
I mean, to be fair, 343 have acknowledged this, although their response, quite understandably, over the past week and a half is, "We're eating turkey. It's Thanksgiving. We can't cope with it. We'll sort it later. Bye."
Yeah. And this is probably part of the reason that they advertised that the game is in beta, even though it feels fairly fleshed out and feature complete from a gameplay standpoint. There's still some of the back end side of things that does need some adjustment, and it is going to take some time to
That's what middle age does to
improve
you.
upon. But I also think that there's people that have been playing a lot that haven't criticised it overly, but I think the majority of players are unhappy with the rate of progression. The one thing I will say though, the actual event itself was quite good fun. It was a event generally on the kind of smaller maps, and I think it was always teams of 4 and 4, and you randomly assigned 2 weapons on every time you respawn, basically. So
That's quite cool.
it generally ended up devolving into there'd be like one corridor somewhere on the map that was just a mound of dead bodies and gravity hammers after a certain period of time. But
So Halo, basically.
yeah. And just a death trap for anyone that went in that corridor and tried to get one of those gravity hammers. Because there's probably someone with a gravity hammer already in that corridor, and there's also multiple people shooting that corridor from both ends. But yeah, like generally, I had a few battles. It took me a bit to get into the swing of things. I think we've always said that we're not the most massively competitive multiplayer gaming people. I don't know if it took a while to kind of sort me into my the kind of level where I was useful, or I just got slightly better at what I was doing, but I got to the point where I felt like I was contributing. I was like second on the leaderboard. I was getting multi-kills. I was doing things. I was having fun. And yeah, definitely getting involved in the game. And actually, yeah, that's the most fun I've had playing like random multiplayer. I played some by myself, and then a friend of mine came along, and we actually ended up, because it's 4-on-4, you can team up and then play against other random. So we had 2 random people with us against another team of 4. And that gave us a small advantage against the team that possibly wasn't like communicating. But we kind of needed that a little bit as well. But it led to some really interesting battles and some close run things. And I really enjoyed it. So
I mean, I have to say, people have been encouraging me to try and dip my toe into the water with it a bit more. But I don't know. There's just something. I think increasingly,
it's not Destiny is the problem. I think
no. I think increasingly, what I'm finding is because I have relatively little time to actually play video games these days, and when I do want to do that, I just want to chill out, and I just find
it's not very
competitive
relaxing.
Shooters just trigger me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just stress me out.
Get angry.
Yeah.
But that's why I think it's helpful to play with a fun group of friends where you're not having to take it quite so seriously. And I think that led me to then go into this multiplayer session going, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to be rubbish. Who cares? But then finding that, as I said, did kind of find my feet and get to the point where I was at least contributing to the team that I was on every time.
I have a question.
Yep.
I've heard there have been problems with PC players with wall hacks and aimbots.
Yes, and I didn't experience much of that myself, but I don't know if that was...
But did you blame them all the same?
Yeah.
If you died in a particularly crap fashion,
yeah.
You're like, bloody aimbots.
No, especially when I was playing against friends and just knowing they're better than me helps me go, well, okay, that's...
I still blame it. Blame
but there has been some calls for like console players to be able to not play with PC players, and I can kind of see the reason for that being the case.
That option is in the menu, because I found that day one. I tried to switch that off to avoid mouse and keyboard players because I'm playing on a controller, and it's there, but it doesn't let you switch it. So I'm assuming that's something that's coming later.
Okay.
I think just for the sake of their stats, they've decided to go, let's make everyone play together. So
yeah, it might help with their
huge player base at
network
once.
Performance, crossover tests and all that sort of stuff anyway, sort of thing. So
remind me, chaps.
Yep.
The single player...
He's called Master Chief. He's a green geezer that wears armor.
Green,
okay, with you.
Orange visor, Cortana in his noggin.
So he's an intergalactic traffic warden. Is what you see. He's an intergalactic traffic warden.
Yep, basically. Yep.
Right, okay, good, brilliant. And
writing a ticket for a load of space Nazis.
Okay.
They're not really space Nazis.
Were they double parked?
That's more Killzone, sorry. Wrong
they double
universe.
parked? Were they double parked? Is that why they needed the justice unleashed on them?
I think they parked their church in the wrong Halo.
Wow, what dicks.
Yeah.
That's why none of us can have nice things anyway.
And then there was a flood.
I was going to riff on that and then realise that I know nothing about Halo other than Master Chief, Halo, laser swords.
Yeah, pretty much.
Warthog.
Warthog.
So, I do believe the campaign is out
on the 8th of
9th?
December or 9th of December. I thought it was the 8th.
Yeah? Is that next Tuesday?
Yes, very soon. And I'm very much looking forward to that.
Do you know what else lands that day?
Early previews and what's the name? Something Destiny related?
Yeah, it does.
Bungie just being dicks, eh? Or is that Halo being dicks? I don't know. One of them.
Forget those two things, because on Game Pass right now, you can play that lawnmower game.
It's where it's at.
I've got it pre-installed and waiting to go.
Is it multiplayer?
I don't know yet. I will let you know.
Yeah, there was a...
Who's got 2 thumbs and is loading up his Xbox app on his PC?
There was
this guy.
There's just a load of games that just come out on Game Pass this week as well. It looks like there's going to be a busy month surrounding Halo as well.
I heard a complaint about the Halo Infinite, the multiplayer, which is that this is the version of Halo multiplayer where they've gone, do you know what? We're not going to penalise you for disconnects. And I can only assume the reason for that is because of Game Pass. And I see why people are complaining about it, but at the same time, I tried getting into the multiplayer again when I had a bit of free time, just doing it on the phone, doing it on Game Pass, and then the Game Pass, I was having a really good match as well, and then the Game Pass app crashed.
Oh no!
I was halfway through, and we were winning.
What happens if you get a phone call as well?
I don't know about all phones, but on my phone you can do like a gaming mode, so if the phone rings, it just won't show up on your screen.
Nice.
No, I'm gaming now.
Who phones you? It's 2021. You don't use phones for phone.
Chaps, I've got terrible news.
Oh no.
Go on then.
Lawn
No
mowing
multiplayer.
simulator is single player.
Boo.
But
Farming simulator.
as a counterpoint to that, you'll be pleased to hear that it offers, and this is all in capitals in the store description,
Yep.
physically authentic lawn mowing experience.
Well,
I look forward to your review next week, Coleman.
that's also
I
good.
can't wait.
I'm going to look up the achievements.
I've kind of got
game.
something I do need to play for next week that
What
was
are the
really for this
achievements?
week, but I'll see if I can squeeze in some lawnmower action. Still enjoying Halo
Complete a
Infinite,
career
though, Tom.
contract with a deck 50 centimetres smaller than the
Yes.
recommended size.
I would have played more of
Oh, yeah, mate. My
that
dick's 50
event, which
centimetres
I
smaller.
think has run out now, and I would have played more in general if it wasn't for the fact that I've been pretty tired by the time I've come to game every day this week. And also, I picked up a half-price copy of Guardians of the Galaxy after your
Oh, nice.
recommendation, Mr. Coleman, and I have to say, you were quite right, that game is quite excellent. I'm
Yes.
enjoying that quite a lot.
You have to tell me when you finished it, because I've got some things that I want to point out, but I can't
Okay.
point out because it's at the end of the game and I
Right.
don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Okay, I'm not sure.
I have one complaint about that game.
Okay. I am not sure I am very good at the combat yet. Partly because not because I suck and I die at it a lot, but because I keep on accidentally
Is it 'cause you're
going
bad and
into
you-
camera
and you-
mode whenever I'm trying to kick off everyone's powers quickly, kind of thing. But
That's
yeah,
because you play games with your shoes on.
but probably it might be my big
On your
thumbs.
hands, like mashing up the controller.
But yeah, like other than that, like it's been really enjoyable. Like the main thing for me as well is the kind of incidental chatter between the characters. Like I actually
Yes.
want to hear more of it. And like there was one bit where I was walking around a level and I accidentally interrupted a conversation they were having and kicked off a cutscene. I was like, oh no, that was a really funny conversation. And
That's the thing. Like, if you progress the story, then the conversation just stops. But if you're, because they're open planet levels, so you'll be doing some platforming and stuff. And if you find like a secret area, someone might stop a conversation and go, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" But then they will do that thing when you return and go, "Anyway, you were saying," and then carry it back like the God of War type thing.
Nice.
But unfortunately, if you progress the story, then you've lost that conversation. It doesn't carry on.
Yeah. But yeah, just the chatter around the ship and the general kind of character interaction between all of them is really good. And yeah, like I think you mentioned when you were talking about it, it's a slightly different backstory, and it's like not how they look in the movies necessarily, although you can unlock some of the movie-based costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like really enjoying it. It's really good fun so far. Like the boss battles are good, and I quite like the team up stuff with the music and everything that you described before as well. That works pretty well. And yeah, it's just a good fun game to play so far.
There are two things in that game that, because there's little moments in between the levels where you're just mucking about on the Milano and talking to different characters and stuff. Whenever you hit those areas, there's two things you have to do each time. Check the bathroom and close the fridge door.
Yes.
I have a question. Why have you got to check the bathroom?
But you'll see, because you'll see
just
when you get to the end of the
random
game.
funny stuff, basically,
Things
but yeah.
keep happening.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's fun.
Can I just interject? I'm multitasking here, by the way, chaps.
But yeah, that's good.
Well done.
Can I just carry...
A load of awesome crap really has just landed on Game Pass.
Yes. Stardew Valley and other stuff.
Stardew Valley, man.
Oh, I got that on the Switch. It's really good.
Yeah, I want to see if Denise is interested in that one, because that's her type of game that I think she might get into even though we haven't really discussed this before, she's not a massive gamer apart from some things on her phone, one of which is a farming game, so I'm hoping the crossover there might help, but we'll see. But yeah, I was going to say, yeah, like the other good thing about Guardians of the Galaxy I didn't realise was that I want to, even though I've played through it once and I'm enjoying playing through it, I want to go back and play again and make different decisions than I have just to see what the difference is as well. That means remembering a hell of a lot of decisions I've made previously, but...
What, in life generally or in the game?
Both.
But that's one of the things I applauded that game on, because a lot of the branching paths, they actually tie into the unlocks. So if you're looking for 100% find all the costumes and stuff, you do need to do all the options in some cases. But they have a mode in there which will go, they have like a little level select, chapter select mode that will let you replay scenarios, but it will let you replay scenarios to the point where you've played up to in your previous save, go through that scenario till the end, and then it not affect your current save or make a different save or anything.
So that's really clever.
It's something nice you can do that way, but unfortunately it was something I wanted to do, and it involved me taking a different path, and then I would have to take a different path, and it wouldn't let me do that, so I would have to do a new game plus type thing, unfortunately. But so it's good in one aspect where it's like, oh, I missed this thing, I can go back and do it. But if you're looking for a specific story beat which isn't tied into an unlock, then it doesn't work that way.
But generally, yeah, I just think particularly well scripted in terms of what's going on, but also, and I think we're going to move on to possibly a bit of Marvel Avengers, which this might segue into nicely anyway.
Yes.
But for me, this proves exactly what they got wrong with the formula of that game overall compared to what you can do when you're not making a games as a service style game and you're just concentrating on making a admittedly slightly linear but very enjoyable single player game, basically.
I was surprised how long the campaign was for Guardians of the Galaxy. I really thought it was going to be a lot shorter than it was.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. I really liked that game, and I do want to go back, and I think in my because I've booked some Christmas time off now, I think I might try platinum that.
Oh, okay.
Because it looks like a fun
Merry
platinum.
Christmas, everyone.
Can I jump to mine?
Yeah,
go for it.
Yep.
Excellent. So if you're on the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5 and you have a copy of Marvel's
I'm
Avengers,
not.
you might be aware that there is DLC for free in the form of Spider-Man.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can he do anything a spider can?
Yep. Egg sack on his back where he carries all his babies.
Nice. Does he eat his sexual partners?
No, that's Spider-Woman that does that. Spider-Man will spin a web around his prey
more like,
and liquidize their innards and then suck them back out.
Wow, that's a one-time trick though, isn't it?
Yeah, the new I've forgotten the kid's name. The new Spider-Man film was really creepy.
I was going to say, wasn't that in the Tobey Maguire years? Where,
Anyway, Spider-Man, he's been added to Marvel's Avengers. It's not in the same vein as the Black Panther updates or the Hawkeye or Kate Bishop updates, where there's like a big full production story in there and new arenas and things that appear, new levels and stuff. This one is more just the character, couple of cutscenes, and that's it. There's no new levels, there's no new hub world or anything. The way Spider-Man, like when I loaded up Spider-Man, he appeared on my character select screen, and I was like, "Where the hell is he? I can't find Spider-Man." And then at some point, the screen just went, "Hey, are you looking for Spider-Man? You need to be on the helicarrier and carrier and find him." And you literally just walk up to a window and see a big web and goes, "Investigate suspicious web," and then Spider-Man appears, and then you can start doing the Spider-Man stuff.
And then Spider-Man appears.
Yes.
Wow.
What you get is the character. You get a mission path, which it's very basic stuff.
A mission path.
Like, hey, yeah, they'll go, "Hey, go to this go to this social hub. Go to this hub and talk to this character. Now defeat 50 of this type of character or do this type of move this many times." And then you keep doing it until the bar's progressed out, and then you get whatever rewards for finishing it. I finished that last night. There's a character card, which unfortunately you do have to pay for. I think it's 1,000 space bucks in the game, which is about £7 or £8. But that will give you the opportunity to level. Oh, it's a character card. You level up your character. The more you level up, the more rewards you unlock along the way. But as a free, just the character and the mission path included, couple of cutscenes and stuff thrown in with there. Very charming. The character himself, he plays a little bit more like Black Panther, so he's more of a brawler type character, but has obviously projectiles with the whole web stuff, and he can web swing. If you're looking for, and it's very kind of jarring at first because you hit the right trigger to web swing off into the distance, and then go, oh, this is very slow. This is not Insomniac Spider-Man that I'm used to, because it's not Insomniac Spider-Man. This is the Avengers. And the web swinging is a cool way to get around, but it is literally just a little mode of transport. There's nothing really fun to it. It's a little bit slow compared to what you get in the Insomniac game. So don't go in expecting that. It's more a case like when you would play, like I've said before, with the multiplayer of Marvel's Avengers, it's kind of like Ultimate Alliance. It's you've got these characters, they're a little bit samey, but they have different things at the same time, but it's done in the third person. Spider-Man's a bit like that. You get Spider-Man for the fun of playing Spider-Man, the look of Spider-Man, the voice quips and the moves and stuff, but not necessarily the web swinging, because it's going to be very limited, and that's the same here.
Yeah. So I have a question. So if they made him like Black Panther as a brawler character, presumably he's a bit of a, has he got slightly kind of tanky qualities, or is he a bit of, because I would have expected Spider-Man to be a bit like kind of, well, for want of a better way of putting it, a glass cannon, where he can do a lot of damage, but you've got to be really wary because you're a bit weedy.
Where I say like Black Panther, I just mean in the brawling sense. Black Panther is quite a strong character and can do this kind of, you can pounce on characters and just swipe at them while they're down and stuff.
Because he's a panther. It's
a very cool. It's a very cool character to play as. And like Black Panther, Spider-Man takes a bit of getting used to. Spider-Man's more, he's a brawler, but he's a faster brawler. So not as powerful as Black Panther, but has some really cool moves. It's quite weird because a lot of it's like flinging webs about, he seems to be the only character that doesn't have a lock on. So you can't just lock on a character and fire loads of webs at them. You've got to be quite skilled in the way that you do it. So it takes a little getting used to in how you play as him. What he does have is, if you wail on a character enough, it will build up a little bar, and you can kind of do the Insomniac Spider-Man hit triangle and circle at the same time and pull off a special move, which all the characters can do, but Spider-Man can store them up and do them at will by the looks of it. So that's kind of cool. He also comes with a little spider drone as one of his specials. A little like spider grenade where you can web up a bunch of characters at once. And then the big, which they like to do in video games and no other medium, is the big Spider-Man, let's build a giant boulder out of webs and smash it down on loads of characters. But yeah, I completed his mission chain. He is fun. Did take some getting used to, but now I'm really looking forward to leveling up the character. But they did bring in a couple of changes with the character as well. Like, they've been making changes to Marvel's Avengers, some good, some bad, some been removed again. They were doing things where you could buy, seemingly after Square Enix went, hey, we're not going to sell you any pay-to-win mechanics. They started selling pay-to-win mechanics, but then took them away because...
Did they call them pay to succeed? And was that how they got out of it?
No, it was like level up stuff, which you can still get. You can earn them, and they give them away for free each week. But I think at some point you could buy them, and that seemed to rub along people up a wrong way because that sounded like something that they said they wouldn't do. So they've removed the ability to buy those. But there's a new thing that's kind of like, so there's two currencies in the game, one that you pay for, which is to buy all your character costumes, and then one that is earned through like chests and things you find in the game, which you use to buy in-game items, which I rarely use, and consequence was I've had like 500,000 of these credits stored up that I never spend. So they've put in this weird thing where they go, hey, once a month we're going to add in like a loot box system that you can use the in-game credits for. You can't buy these credits, you can't spend real money on this, but they'll go, hey, here's a thing, we're going to do a monthly prize. In this case, it's like this Wakandan Iron Man outfit that does look really, really cool. And they go, okay, for 500 of these credits, you can buy a blind box, which gives you rewards. If you buy 100 of those, you get the armor. However, you might also just unlock the armor in one of these boxes while you're unlocking them. So that's a new thing that they've done. And I instantly bought half the boxes last night because I had so much of these bloody credits saved up that I never use. So it's nice that I've got a system to get rid of these credits now. And also along the way, I did unlock a load of exotic and legendary, not exotic, just legendary skins for characters and things that I didn't have before and I wasn't really going to spend real money on. So it was kind of nice getting a bunch of stuff for lesser characters that I want to look cool along the way. But yeah, a lot of improvements have been made to Marvel's Avengers. It's just a shame that this is a platform exclusive, so you can only get Spider-Man on the PlayStation platforms.
Yeah. But that's why you bought it on PlayStation. So
that is literally, I was going to buy this on PC. This is the only reason I bought this on PlayStation was Spider-Man.
PlayStation got you with their exclusive Spider-Man DLC.
And just over a year later, I got him.
To be fair, with your batting average of picking games that summarily get cancelled, that's actually not bad for you. Tom. At least something you were looking forward to.
I'm pretty sure I broke this. Hey, look, I think you guys picked Cyberpunk like 2 years running before it actually came out, so, you know.
And then it was...
Apparently that's good now, according to Steam ratings.
Really? I've been playing it.
Yeah?
PC's the way to go.
Yeah?
Yes.
I might reinstall it. Or have I still got it installed?
Oh, I might have hard drive space to put it in now.
Should we skip Riders Republic for another week?
Yeah.
Tim, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, you guys want some headlines? You want some news?
Hit me with the headlines. I would like very specific PlayStation 5 technical problems that no one other than one person on the show has experienced as my leading topic, please.
I tell you what, Dan, with that amazing setup, that does sound like that is what you were talking about. Basically news. It's been a while since we've heard that.
All of the stories no one in their right mind would give a flying toss about.
Take it away, Tim. What is your basic basically news?
Stitch-up based on me saying in our WhatsApp conversation that I wanted to talk about something on the show. But it's something I wanted to talk about for a while and was reminded by something last night. And yeah, generally want to put it out there to see how many other people are suffering from the same thing or have noticed the same thing. But also,
I'll get you a cream for that, Tim.
Yeah,
if you really
the reason why I'm mentioning it as well is because it might have already been solved, but I want to know if other people experienced it before. But I did see someone talking about the same issue on Twitter. I was trying to dig through before the show to see who it was, but it was a couple of months ago now, and I haven't seen much other chatter of it. But one person did state on Twitter, and then got a conversation of replies before I joined in saying, "Oh, phew, it's not just me."
I have a question.
Yes?
I have a question. What the hell is this issue? Because we've talked about some people on Twitter wrote a thing, and then more people replied.
I'm just
and then there
leading
were
into
other
it,
people.
and if you'd have not interrupted me, you would have already heard the answer to your question.
Has got a similar
I don't know what we're yelling about.
Right.
Loud
Sorry, Tim.
noises.
You're about to say, I'm going to turn this damn car around if you kids won't shut up.
But
Carry
on. Basically, it's a issue when you're shutting down the PS5. And one of the things I'm curious about is...
Does it turn off?
Whether it's particular to having an external hard drive plugged into it, which is one possible factor, or whether it's just a general issue. But I saw someone talking about when you are shutting down the PS5, it goes into and not necessarily shutting it down, when you're putting it into sleep mode, it will... Instead of going into sleep mode, it does this thing where the whole thing crashes, all the lights turn off, and it goes into a flash of blue screen that the next time you turn it on, it says that you didn't turn off your PS5 properly, even though I, through the menu went and put it into the sleep mode. But it warns you didn't turn the PS5 properly, and there was a problem with the hard drive, and they'll need to repair the hard drive now and do all that. Like every time that happens, it comes up with the same error message afterwards. Now, one thing I noticed after I was gaming last night was as I turned the console off, there was an update. And it was a bit sneaky because if I had what I thought was happening was because I've got auto switching on my console, when I turned my Xbox off, which I had a quick look at after playing my PS5, I thought it was auto switching to turn my PS5 back on. So I turned the TV back on, which I wouldn't normally have bothered doing. But in doing so, it told me that it was installing an update. Now, I don't know about you, most of the updates I've had on PS5 so far have been as I'm opening up the console, it tells you and asks you if you want to update, and then you update basically. Whereas I've never seen my PS5 update as it's turning off. Now, I don't know if that's a feature of the PS5 in general, or they've snuck an update out to possibly deal with the problem that I was talking about, and that was what was happening last night, possibly. Or I don't know. Has anyone seen an update as you are shutting the PS5 down? Because I've never noticed that before.
I'm just trying to find it, but you've reminded me, because we're taking the mick a little bit, but as you've described the issue, I did remember I had this issue.
Thank you.
Damn it, Coleman. I thought you had my back on this.
I'm sorry, but no, back in August, I had the same problem, and at some points I couldn't switch the... if I switched the PlayStation back on, it would result in a black screen, and I couldn't do anything. And I use a splitter and a capture card and stuff, so it does cause issues along the way, and sometimes I'll have to switch the capture on just to go, is the PlayStation actually on?
Yeah. And
then it's on the PC. So for a good 2 days, I couldn't get my PlayStation on, and I remember tweeting out a while ago about it. I had to disconnect my external hard drive and do make sure everything was in the cloud, and then do a full factory reset, and that seemed to fix all my issues. But yeah, I did have the problem and forgot, because everything's been smooth sailing ever since August.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't crop up very often, but I've noticed it happening consistently throughout the life of the PS5 up to this point. The one thing I can't remember looking back is whether I had the external hard drive hooked up at the first point I had this problem. It's interesting that you had an external hard drive connected when you said you had the problem as well, Coleman. But
so is it only on shutting down it just craps to bed and you've got to force restart it?
Yeah,
or does it randomly crash during games?
No.
Or what?
I haven't had any problem with it actually playing. I haven't had... and the only time... and well, part of the time that I have noticed there has been a problem, because I noticed it happen while it was happening on some occasions, but on most of the occasions, it's been when I've gone to turn it back on the next time, it won't turn on from the pad. I have to turn it on from the console itself. And then...
Curses, burning extra calories.
Yeah, and the main problem then is it gives me the warning that I didn't shut down the PS5 properly the last time, and the hard drive needs repairing again, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Sorry, I will say it wasn't just a factory reset. I had to get the latest version of the software off of the PlayStation website.
Stuff,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so
install via a USB, and then that got it working.
Oh.
Which I had a moment where I genuinely, because it's happened to me on an old PlayStation 4, I genuinely thought I'd completely lost the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Like, this isn't going to come back, is it?
Yeah, and you do worry about them with there being a limited supply of them in terms of like how long it will take them to get you a replacement if something does go wrong. But like I said, I've also never seen this kind of stealth update as you're shutting down before. So I'm wondering if that's something they snuck in knowing that it might be a problem that will affect you otherwise when you're shutting down, and like, okay, no, force this update on people and just put it on the back end, and let's get this one out there because we need to do that. That's just me speculating on I can see why they would do that in those circumstances, and if that's a thing. But again, as I said, I don't know. I need a bit more data to kind of see if there's any correlation between people experiencing this problem and external hard drives, or just people generally experiencing this problem. So,
but what's the issue if there is an update pinging, triggering when you're shutting down?
No, as in like my hope is that is their solution, and we no longer have to talk about this problem going forward because they've already solved it. That would be ideal. I'm not necessarily saying that update is the solution, but I'm just saying that reminded me to talk about this problem and but it may no longer be a problem because of what happened last night or sometime this week with an update on PlayStation. But I've also just bringing up the fact that I've never seen them actually do an update in that way before, so I'm just wondering if other people have seen that update on other occasions and if other people are experiencing this problem. So I just want to kind of put that out there, get some more feedback
over to
from
you,
the
audience,
possibly.
Basically, have you?
Yes.
Yeah. It was weird because, as you say, it didn't happen as a shutdown. It happened as it went into rest mode.
Yeah.
And then it went, hey, we're going to install this update. And then when I loaded up the console, it let me keep playing my game, like from the point that I put it in rest mode.
Right.
So that's very unusual. They don't do that. And then when I went to go play my game later, we got shut down because we just updated while you were switched off. So the console updated, allowed me to keep playing. Then it went, the game updated. You need to reset, buddy, because this is online only. But yeah. Other news. Would you like to know what is going on? For the love
of God, yes, I would like to know something else.
I'm just trying to skip it on quickly. So this one's interesting in that everyone seems to be reporting on it like it is an actual thing that is definitely happening. This is in the US. They have proposed a bill.
That's good. That's good.
But this is called the Stopping Grinch Bots Act, which means it won't get passed because it's got a silly name. This is potentially a new legislative. I can't say that
legislative.
Word. Legislative. I can say that word. Legislative bill. Which seeks to stop the using bots to scalp high-demand toys and goods. So your graphics cards, your consoles, your games, anything like that. I mean, I see this week the big headlines have been Spider-Man tickets, Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. They've been sold and sold out and then resold for $1,000 to $10,000 in some cases.
Dear God. I mean, there's two bits to this. One, curse those scalpers for being dickheads.
Yeah.
Two, people buying it and encouraging this behaviour.
I don't think people are buying film tickets for $10,000.
If they, somewhere there will be. Somewhere there is the end of the number of people doing that is greater than 1 or greater than 0. I can guarantee. Somewhere out there is an idiot who's paid $10,000 to watch Spider-Man. I'm not saying that Spider-Man is a bad movie or I dislike the movie or anything like that, but I can guarantee there's someone who has so much more money than sense that seems to them a good idea. Rant over.
I think it's more I mean, I just booked the ticket for the Saturday instead of the Thursday or whenever it's coming out.
Oh, so was it a bargain at £5,000?
It's free because I use Cineworld.
Oh, fair enough.
But I think it's a case of the same as when like the PlayStation 5 sells out and immediately news starts reporting, oh, these PlayStation 5s are going for £10,000. Like, no, they're not. They're getting put on eBay for £10,000. They're selling at the most for $1,000, $1,500. They're not selling for this ridiculous price. People are just putting them up. Anyway, proposed bill to put a stop to that. The idea is to kind of tie it into the Better Online Ticket Sales Act, which was put into law in 2016, which I think we had earlier in the UK. It's the idea that you stop the use of automated bots to acquire tickets for public events such as concerts and, well, surely cinema would fall into that, I would think, but hey-ho. And
I have a question.
Yes.
Because you are now our legally appointed US law expert, Coleman. Thank you.
Yes, as all people that work in petrol stations should be.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So, when you've been selling petrol in your petrol station...
In US.
Have you ever engaged
they call
someone
it gas there.
Really?
Yes.
Why? But it's a liquid.
Yeah.
Because
it's a liquid.
Americans are weird.
All right, fair enough. So... In your backwater petrol vapor selling station that you work, have you ever asked them whether or not is it the bots bit that is illegal, or is it the selling it at a massively inflated price that's illegal, or is it both?
I think in the US it's the idea of using the bots because it allows you to buy like 1,000 tickets in one hit and then sell them on yourself for an inflated price.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were a scalper using an online system that wasn't using bots, then how much are you really going to
4
get?
computers at once, maybe.
But scalping should be illegal in itself.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
And it is in some cases. If you went to a musical concert and you're buying tickets and selling tickets, you could get nobbled by the police for doing that. So
yes,
it should be the same online for doing this kind of thing. And we see it so often we saw it recently with graphics cards and video game consoles, but now it seems, especially since lockdown started happening, on just any item that people can get their hands on. And I mean, it's happened all the time for sneakers and trading cards and things like that.
I mean, that's where it started, was sneakers, funnily enough.
But now it's just everything, what was it? The Metroid Dread got announced, and they went, here's a special edition. And immediately all the pre-orders had sold out and appeared on eBay. And for an inflated price, just for a tin and a bloody amiibo. So it made it's madness.
It's a really messed up version of supplier-induced demand, because it's not the actual original suppliers of the goods who are doing this, it's the resellers of it. By absolutely exhausting the market of all supply, they're inducing scarcity, therefore making people think, oh my god, this is an amazing thing, I need that metallic Furby, I must have it.
But then what's to say I don't go, hey, there's a global crisis at the moment. The minute it happens, I'm going to buy all face masks, hand sanitizers, all these kind of things, and then sell them out in my garage for an inflated price.
I mean, people did that. Yeah.
Well, people did, and people got shut down for doing it.
Yeah. But hey.
So,
never underestimate the capability of people to be dickheads.
I am very, on the side of capitalism and stuff. I will follow it to a sense, but then there's points where I think you're taking the mick.
Yes.
So I don't know. There's got to be laws to everything.
It's almost as if there's a happy medium between the two extremes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unfettered capitalism is not good either. But
unfettered capitalism is as bad as unfettered.
Everyone seems to be reporting on the Stopping Grinch Bots Act as something that is definitely going through. I think purely because it's got a silly name, it won't go through, but also so this was something that was being reported initially in November, September, July. I think it just comes around again and again when sales and stuff, like at the moment we just have Black Friday. Well, Black Friday, Christmas, all this kind of stuff. It's a good reason to bring it up. But also this time last year in the UK, we were looking at something similar where members of the UK Parliament had filed a motion to discuss prohibiting the resale of gaming consoles and computer components at prices that are greatly above the manufacturer's recommended retail price, to which nothing happened.
Yeah.
So,
Brilliant. Love it.
Even without a silly name, it doesn't happen.
Yes, but I mean, these things do take some time. The more that they come up, hopefully, maybe if like America does something, we are reasonably likely to follow suit. So,
like elect a overweight buffoon to office, for example. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, looking in the past, I vaguely remember Martin Shkreli. Didn't he purchase all rights to an AIDS medicine that was very cheap and sell it for a ridiculous amount of money before ending up in prison?
Yeah, likewise, arsehole.
So, I think case-by-case bases do need to be looked into in these kind of things. I think the idea of just buying a ridiculous amount of something just purely for the idea of reselling it makes no sense.
All I ask of people, aside from getting them to wash their hands, is to just think, whenever you do something, just take a moment and just go, am I being a dick?
Yeah. Are you adding to society for this, or are you taking away from it?
Yeah. If you are being a dick, don't do it. Simple as that. I can guarantee 90% of the world's problems would go away if people did that.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure it's ever going to happen.
Yes.
We're running out of time. I'm going to give you a choice of 3 headlines. Do you want to hear about Cyberpunk? Do you want to hear about Marvel MMO? Or would you like to hear about a potential new Half-Life game?
Let's go with the Marvel MMO to complete the theme of Marvel things for this week.
Yeah, all right.
Fair enough. Sorry, Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red, but that's what you get for bringing out a really crappy looking blockchain
Do you
watch.
know what's really exciting? It's going to be the Mumo, because it's a Marvel Universe MMO.
There was an investor presentation from developer Dimensional Ink Studios, who, if you don't know, they made the great DC Universe Online, which was a game that I really, really liked.
Yep.
And no one played in my social circles at all, and it's been
Coleman
bounced
with
about.
his inverse Midas touch.
No one was Robin to your Batman, eh?
I think it was just too late in the MMO generation, where it was that point where all MMOs are falling out of favour unless they were called World of Warcraft specifically. So hey ho, but yeah, that was a really good game. They are apparently working on a Marvel IP based on the massively multiplayer online game type genre. So we could be seeing a Marvel MMO on the way, which we did see. We had a Marvel MMO. We had Marvel Heroes. It got a retooling. We got a Marvel Heroes. It was received poorly. It got a retooling. It was received really well. It came to consoles. It was kind of received well. It got shut down because Disney Disney acquired all the rights and stuff. So, hey ho. But yes, Eurogamer reporting on this. Daybreak Games' Austin-based Dimensional Link Studios. They are apparently going to be working on it. And also Jack Emmett, who designed and ran City of Heroes / City of Villains, and currently leads DC Universe Online. He is the guy in charge.
Ooh.
So I'd like an MMO based on Marvel.
They could genuinely have some fun with world events in this MMO if they embrace the multiverse side of things, where they can they've kind of got a MacGuffin they can always go back to reset the universe state, change completely how things work. And they could do some quite cool things with that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, for all its faults getting reported at the moment, New Worlds seems to be getting quite a huge player base behind it that are constantly playing it or complaining that they can't play it because the servers are down. I would like to see what a big budget MMO in, this day and age looks like, because the biggest MMO is still World of Warcraft, even though the faults of Activision and Blizzard at the moment. But it is an MMO that was done in the kind of early mid-2000s, being bolted on again and again and again and updated and changed, and it's still very dated looking in the way it is. So I would like to see what a big budget MMO would look like.
And also the Marvel Universe, like the structure of big storylines, like, kind of Infinity War and other things that we've seen kind of take shape in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But there are also good structures for an MMO game, and just the plethora of characters that, that you can have various different characters, and you can have people with different costume options and all that sort of stuff. So the basis for all of that is there for an MMO, and they've got pedigree from doing it with DC. So, yeah, be interesting to see what they come up with.
Bring Night Thrasher to a game, you cowards.
Mm-hmm.
One day I'll get my wish.
Yeah.
One day.
Those are all the headlines. It's a pity we couldn't talk about Half-Life 3. Those are all the headlines that we have time to talk about.
It's not
this
happening.
week. It's definitely happening, Dan.
It's not.
Turn-based
we can't talk
strategy
about it.
thing for...
We ran out of time to talk about it.
I know.
So we can't talk about it. Don't have
We're
time
not
to
gonna?
talk about the things that we don't have time to talk about.
Yeah.
Don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
Yeah.
We do have time to talk about any Gosh updates you might have, Tim.
Well, I was actually going to go, because you
I
said...
forgot about that. We were going to change it, yeah.
Do a different charity each week. But I was going to actually swing it back to...
like Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man, indeed. I was going to swing it on back to Extra Life this week, because I noticed that GameSpot... Tam and Lucy are doing some streaming this week and raising money for Extra Life. So they're actually doing their streaming stuff this week. So go and support them, possibly. And anyone that doesn't know, Extra Life helps raise money for the Children's Miracle Network in the States, and raises money for children's hospitals and for looking after children and operations and stuff there. They do take people from all around the world. There are other places outside America that you can contribute to, and Canada and other places like that as well. So yeah, those people are doing that. We mentioned Dearmed, and you can still go and support him if you still haven't sponsored him as well.
Support Dearmed.
But yeah, just go and support Extra Life this week. That is your shout out for this week.
Good. I was trying to see if we had like a Spider-Man web sound. I'll have to put one of them on. Go web go. Didn't quite work.
So that's the money shot.
Yeah,
what you just.
That's the microtransaction noise coming up. If you'd have paid for the Spider-Man add-on, then you'd have had the
How do you
right
reckon
noise
he
there.
explains to his aunt all the slightly sticky web type stuff in his bedroom?
I mean,
Mate, I'm Spider-Man. No, you're not. You're just wanking yourself into oblivion. Don't be a silly boy.
That's why he had to move out.
Says you've got to pace yourself, Peter. You're not Superman. It's a 2002
You can have a prostate
callback.
like a raisin, you idiot. What are you doing?
Go web go. Oh no, not Aunt May's vase. Do you guys want to hear some questions?
Yes.
Hey,
Yep.
I'm
Hit
doing
me
something
with it.
different. So if you've got a question to ask us, you can do so on the comment section of BigRedBarel.com. Also our Discord, on Facebook, Twitter at BigRedBarel, or on YouTube, Big Red Barrel TV. Links to all of those are available in the show notes of this here episode. I will say on the Discord, which is our preferred medium of getting these questions, I have started doing, because I do realise our chat starts filling up of questions that just kind of stay there. So I will start doing temporary threads that will expire after however long of them being up. So should tidy things up a bit and get back to good old game chat. But first of all, Stingo, he has asked us.
Stingo.
He says, I have a question. What are you thankful for this year in video games?
We probably should have said a happy Thanksgiving to all of our American listeners, just being jogging my memory on that. But hey, is that a turkey reference?
Why not?
Stuff 'em? No? Anyway, but yeah,
Go web go.
Ooh, sounded a bit dry, that one. Hydrate, for the love of God, man.
Yeah.
Oh no, my webs didn't work.
There's
that happens too.
two things I will say that I'm thankful for in video games this year. Well,
two, of
three
course.
things, possibly.
Of course.
If you two count as one entity, then it's two things. But the two of you fine gentlemen, having you guys to talk about nonsense and games every week, it's nice when we're not being so sociable outside the house to make sure we keep up our nonsense of chatting games to each other on a weekly basis. So yeah.
Although I have noticed that talking unbridled nonsense to actually talking about video games ratio has gone off quite sharply of late.
But then I will also say kind of video games in general have been a nice escape from the world of COVID and being trapped in the house. It's actually a good time to be someone that's kind of used to not going out that much and playing video games. Like that kind of suits me right now. So yeah, that's I have the excuse of keeping me safe, but that kind of suits. But yeah, so video games themselves and you two fine gentlemen, that's a good thing to be thankful for this year. So there you go.
Oh, thanks. I'm thankful I got my PlayStation 5 this year. Stuff the lot.
No, Dan. No, to you.
I've got a Series X. It's fine, mate.
Go web go.
God damn it. What am I thankful for? I think I'm just, like Tim said, I'm just thankful for video games being an escape.
I know what you're thankful for.
What? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Not going to lie.
Dan is thankful for Coleman's new soundboard.
Yes. Next question, please.
Oh, just quickly, I'll add Game Pass as well, though, because Game Pass has enabled us to play a nice range of games.
I was going to say that, but I'm also
basis.
aware that we've sounded like the Game Pass Appreciation podcast for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but,
it's a good system.
It is good.
It is a great system.
I have purposely avoided because I try to avoid headlines of like, this console sold this many units, or this is the most highest selling. a lot of the headlines have been, hey, did you know that the Xbox Series S has been the biggest seller during Black Friday sales? Like, yeah, because it's the only console you can buy.
And apparently that wasn't true in the end. Apparently the Switch overtook it overall.
Brilliant.
Between the OLED Switch and the old Switch, like they outsold
Can you actually get an OLED
possibly,
Switch
but
now?
hey.
Because I thought they were still very hard to come by.
I think you can, because I listened to I've forgotten the name, Gamers Confessional, and one of them bought a OLED Switch after they meant to have sold out, and then the next week the other one had bought it out of jealousy, and then the third week the other one had bought it out of jealousy. So
and then did they all simultaneously slightly regret it?
No, they all seem to like it. Apparently it's really good for Mario Kart. Makes Mario Kart pop.
Ooh. See, I think if it wasn't for the fact that I'd not long ago invested in
overused word
made a bad investment in
I'd buy that for a
some new Dual-Cons, which, to be fair, I think I swapped my old PlayStation for, and in not just those and a few other things as well. But yeah, like if I hadn't got new Joy-Cons, I'd be more tempted by the new Switch. Also, you know,
although it turns out that the internals of the new Joy-Cons are practically identical to the old Joy-Cons, so there will still be stick drift.
Yeah.
My girlfriend got me Joy-Cons for my birthday this year, and they were they're the Splatoon ones, so fluorescent green and fluorescent pink, and they look just like highlighters. They just remind me of nicking my dad's highlighters as a kid for colouring and getting told off. So.
They taste as nice, though.
They smell brilliant. Just one spray and you're taken away. Ed, stop giving us so many flipping questions.
Pick one.
You're going to get barred. I think the bottom one, because Dan's looked into this. Which of you is going to get and wear the Sonic the Hedgehog aftershave? If not, who is going to give it to another member of the team? I'm going to buy it for myself. I'm going to stop you right there, I'm going to gift it to everyone.
I'm going to stop you right there. Because it's not only a Sonic cologne that you've got to prep yourself for in shameless cash-in projects. No, there is also a Chenois one, and I'll give you the flavour notes with each of these. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you can decide which one you like best. So we've got Chenois, which has got notes of cardamom, bergamot, golden tobacco, orris.
Tobacco.
Yep.
Texture like sun.
Orris, sage, and patchouli.
Okay.
Delicious.
I know, right?
Does that smell like Japanese dock workers?
I'm guessing it smells overall a bit like Lynx Africa. Is what I'm guessing.
Smells more like overalls, but yeah.
Then there's the Yakuza one.
Yep.
Which is
sorry, the what?
Yakuza
one.
You really leaned into that one heavy.
I am.
Dan's Japanese accent seems to come via Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it was the Trade Federation. Thank you very much. And would you like to hear the flavour notes?
I mean, I guess.
Go on then.
Okay, so antique oak, cedarwood.
I prefer my oak more modern.
Okay, but there's beeswax infused with smoky bourbon.
I mean, that
does
sounds
sound
good.
quite nice.
I want to drink that.
But then it goes a bit down. Then it goes a bit downhill because then you got a nice bit of leathery rose.
Leathery rose.
Leathery rose.
Who doesn't
Texture
love
like
a leathery rose?
I think isn't that one of those Xbox generated gamer tags?
Yeah, it might be.
I think I played Forza against them the
rose.
other day. Leathery rose.
Oh, you go down Drummond Street and ask Leathery Rose. She'll show you a good time, mate. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Whoa!
Anyway, and also a little hint of pimento as well.
Oh well, yeah, that just brings it all together. Actually, now I can see that really working well.
And then we got the Sonic one, the Sonic,
which is just bright blue.
What does Sonic smell like?
Which looks like
what does Sonic smell like?
It looks like WKD, and from these flavour notes, I think it's going to smell like WKD.
Right.
It's going to taste like it too.
It's got fresh citrus, grapefruit zest.
I mean, I do like my citrus fresh, to be fair.
Caribbean lime, yet more citrus. Mediterranean lemon. Guess what that is? Citrus. Ocean breeze.
The breeze from the ocean. So, like,
melon yeah,
salt
just depends if it's
water?
Skegness. You don't want that ocean breeze.
No, you go down Florida, you get all your citruses and you squeeze them into a bowl.
All your
and then you just
citruses.
give
Okay.
it a bit of a whiff against the beach.
Right, okay.
And then you pour it into a glass and you're done.
Lovely.
Oh,
then there's
beach
also
fart in
melon.
my fragrance, thanks.
Then there's
fart.
melon fade in there as well.
Melon fade.
I think I used to listen to them in the
leather.
90s.
Leather, Stremlo,
More
leathery
leather.
roses.
Got to
More
get your leather in there.
Suede,
Suede.
and
that
cedar.
the
Another band I
band?
used to listen to in the 90s.
Yeah, I know, right? And I'm not going to lie, out of all of those, probably the Yakuza one sounds the most
It is,
not
but
wrong.
as it's bright blue,
Only
the
because
Sonic one is the funniest
phrase
one.
leathery
Yeah.
rose amuses me. What?
Beeswax infused with smoky bourbon
Leathery rose.
over ice.
Yeah, so to answer your shave... to answer your
To answer your
shave,
shave.
Answer your shave.
I think I read something as I was talking.
I would like to
sorry.
after your shave. Coleman,
Yeah,
aftering shave since 2021.
I think I read the word aftershave as I was talking. Sorry. Yes, sorry. Ed, as to answer your question, Shave, I think I would buy it for myself, but I would buy it as gifts for the other two. Because I can then hand it to them as we go on our cinema date to see Sonic 2.
Yeah, I cannot wait to buy all three for both of them.
Saying that, these kind of gimmicky... I know Sega do actually... They seem to team up with people that do have some clout with either it being the jokey-looking jewellery or the clothing or fragrances in this case. But I've bought novelty ones or received them as gifts before, and I got like a Batman one that looked really cool in the bottle, but I never wore it because it just smelt sickly sweet, like someone had just poured sugar into a bottle with some water and shook it up.
Because that's what I think. When I see Batman, I think diabetes.
Yeah, it was very weird. So I left it on a shelf because the bottle looked cool, and then over about 2 years when I pulled it out
melted.
when I was moving house, it was brown inside.
Nice.
Probably
Nice.
a good thing you didn't spray that on yourself then, maybe.
Do you know what? It fermented quite well. It was delicious.
Ooh, lovely.
Are you
that's
sure,
what
are
it
you
sounded
sure
like.
it wasn't something made by like the Joker to trick Batman and you accidentally stumbled into it?
That was it. It was the 1989 Tim Burton Batman movie where the Joker put the Joker chemicals into different cosmetics. So I sprayed some of that, a big grin. I went, "Ooh, love that Joker!" And then I had to instantly pay $10,000 to Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
Good.
And a completely random dance sequence to Prince that all of a sudden happened in your life as well.
Bat dance is so weird. Should we wrap up the show?
Yes.
I might use that to play us out.
Yeah, exactly. So
Had
thank
a
you
good
ever
video
so
game,
much
though.
for listening to this nonsense. As Coleman said, go onto the internet, put /BigRedBarel after wherever you go, and there's a good chance you'll find us. But do say hello on our
Sometimes.
Discord, because we like saying hello to people on our Discord. We do. So yeah. Thank you so much for being here for another week of this. We're trying to work out what our Christmas plans are going to be. We'll do our best to make sure you're not starved of utter nonsense to listen to to punctuate the other incessant nonsense that you're forced to listen to, courtesy
Love
of your
that
family
nonsense.
over Christmas.
So delicious
Wanna get
nonsense.
nuts? Let's get nuts.
Let's move this swiftly on and get the heck out of here. So all that really remains is for me to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I've been Batman.
I've been Coleman.
Oh no, wait, Spider-Man this week, isn't it?
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Wrong
wait,
pants.
go web go.
Nice. And, well, that's your lot. So thanks ever so much for listening. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spin the web any size, catch a thief just like flies. Look out, here comes their Spider-Man.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.
Are they still making you kind of siphon the petrol out with your mouth?
That's what it is.
Lovely.
Down a darkened alleyway with a blindfold on.
Wow. Definitely sure it's a hose pipe with petrol you're sucking on, yeah?
Yes.